Carmella, you have recently returned to WWE and graced us all with your presence. But I know there's a lot going on in your life, and we're all excited to catch up with you. And I'm sure the ATB listeners, as well as the rest of the WWE universe, have been wondering. There are so many questions. Where have you been? What have you been up to? Where is our Princess of Staten Island?
Well, I'm back.
Yeah, I know that.
Hello. Where was I? Is that what you're asking?
Pay attention to your podcast partner. It's a very valuable skill to learn.
I've been out. I mean, I spent the last 7 months away from WWE. This is the longest time I've ever spent away, actually. I had some time off and a couple, some health issues going on that we've now moved on from. I'm great. I'm healthy. I'm ready to go. But yeah, it's been a crazy 7 months, to say the least.
Well, I know firsthand what you've been dealing with because you are my wife and we live under the same roof. And occasionally we get to spend time in the same city as one another. But I know you've been open and honest about it while you were away via your social media, which you do your best to keep in touch with everybody on those platforms. But for those who may not be familiar, what went down, I know this is something very, very important to you to speak about, and you've had a lot of time to deal with and wrap your head around it. And I know before we invited you on here, you said you were going to be comfortable sort of shining a little light on that for the listeners who may get something important to take away from it.
Yeah, so I was dealing with an ectopic pregnancy, which means that the pregnancy was not viable, couldn't move forward with it. And it's actually something that you and I both were learning together is very, very dangerous. It's something that a lot of women actually don't make it through. So I feel very fortunate that and that's what's so crazy is because, my friend's family, no one realized just how extreme this is. My husband included.
Myself included. And this has been something we've had multiple discussions about because in the moment, I had heard the phrase ectopic pregnancy. I Googled it. I got a definition for what it was, but I had no idea, even as your husband, as your partner, as this was my pregnancy as well. You know what I mean? And I didn't realize the magnitude of what that is. And I know you have done a lot of work and a lot of research, and you've connected with a lot of people on this subject. And it turns out it's a relatively common thing that a lot of people deal with, but sometimes aren't necessarily open to talking about.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't say it's common. It actually only happens to 6% of pregnancies, which is crazy to think about, 6%. But basically what happens is I'm just so grateful I listened to my body. There was a moment where I wasn't sure what was happening. My stomach was killing me. I asked you to take me to the emergency room. We're in the emergency room.
And I'm not proud of this now, but she asked me to take her to the emergency room and I went, well, why? I didn't get it because this is maybe to your point, it's not that common.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, I realized like, man, I have never screwed up that bad. But in the moment, it was just like, I didn't understand what we were dealing with.
I know, but I think in that moment, it's very difficult to go, sure, absolutely, let's go. Right. And I know that may seem like the right thing to do for everybody listening, but if my wife said to me, I need to go to the emergency room right now, I'd have 1,000,001 questions, of course. Sure. So how did you process all you were going through?
It was so difficult because once it happened, I'm in the emergency room. I actually had to take an ambulance to another emergency room for them to continue to diagnose exactly what had happened. And once I realized that it wasn't, in fact, an ectopic pregnancy, which means it's in your, not to get super technical, but it's in your fallopian tube, not in your uterus. So at any point, basically, it can explode and you can bleed to death, which is insane to think about.
But don't gloss over that. This is what really rocked me. This is when I went, oh my God, I need to be a better partner. I need to be more supportive. I didn't realize. I thought, hey, it was something you get fixed. You may need to get surgery or something that your body just recovers from. When I found out, like, you could have died from that. Like that rocked my world.
Yeah, it's insane because not only am I in the emergency room for this crazy medical condition that, we have to monitor very closely. I was on bed rest for 4 weeks straight, couldn't do anything. But then I'm also processing the loss of our baby. So it was a double whammy. So I just think through all of that, I mean, we made it through and I'm so, so grateful. And I'm not trying to gloss over any of this as if it was, I was in a deep depression for a while. It was really hard, but I felt like it was necessary for me to share my story because I felt, even though I had you, I had my family, I've never felt so alone because it's kind of like blaming yourself. What did I do wrong? How could I have prevented this? But turns out there's nothing I could have done. It's just how your body reacts. And Women came out of the woodwork. That's why I wanted to share my story, because I was so lonely and I felt so isolated through the experience. And I felt like if I'm going through this, surely there are other women out there or men out there who are helping their wife or partner or daughter or anyone going through that. And I just really wanted to share my story, because women came out of the woodwork. Women from my high school, my college, even women that I've met through here in WWE have come to me and said, wow, I went through this, or I know someone who went through this, and I wish I had the courage to share my story. And that's mostly what I wanted to do with coming out with it publicly, because it's not talked about enough. Women don't talk about these things. It's, you know, you talk about you're pregnant, you think you're pregnant and you're having a baby, and that's it. And, you know, I was excited to have a baby, and then it's all taken away. And it was just a very difficult time. And it felt like my return was such a, you know, up in the air. I didn't know, am I ever going to go back to work? Am I ever going to feel okay? Am I ever going to feel good enough to get off this damn couch and put some makeup on my face and feel good about myself? And luckily we're here, we're on the other side, but it was definitely a difficult journey.
Talk to us a little bit about the emotional journey back to where, again, not to put all your business out there, but you had questions, you had doubts. You didn't know, A, physically if you're going to be able to get back in the ring and compete at the level that we all know you were used to. And B, you were sort of questioning your place in the world at the time.
For sure. I just kind of reimagined everything. Like, what is my purpose after going through this? You know, I was so confused. And so, like I had mentioned, I was on bed rest for at least 4 weeks. People don't realize once you go through it, you have to wait until your body can recover, because at any moment it can still explode. So you have to wait until everything is back to normal. And so I'm grateful for it now looking back, because I had to just deal with it. I had to be in it. And I went through all of these different thought processes. Am I going to go back to work? What is there for me at work? Is putting my body through all of this worth it? And I just wasn't quite sure what that journey back to the ring would look like. I have to get back in the ring. I hadn't been able to even, for me, I'm someone who's in the gym on a daily basis. I'm constantly in Pilates, yoga, fitness classes, sometimes twice a day. I couldn't do any of that for a couple months. So would I even be able to get my body back to where it needed to be, just to even walk on a treadmill again or ride a bike again? I had no idea how long it would take me to get back to that. So yeah, I wasn't quite sure what it would look like to get back to WWE, and people even going to remember me, or people going to want to see me back. You know, what does that journey look like? And now looking back, I wouldn't have changed a thing. I feel like it really helped me take the time I needed to mentally and physically to get back into peak physical and in-ring condition.
You mentioned being lonely, though, and you also mentioned the mental aspect of this. For a lot of people listening, both male and female right now, that may be feeling that, what did you do to turn that corner, to try and become yourself again? You've mentioned yoga and Pilates. Anything else that you'd recommend?
Yeah, I did a lot of acupuncture, actually. My acupuncturist also kind of doubles as a therapist. He talks a lot about, you know, mental well-being, and he's really helped me a lot through. I do a lot of meditation. And honestly, just the support system of having my family. I'm so grateful that my parents live here in Pittsburgh now. My husband, my stepkids, they were all so integral in the process of, you know, getting back to where I needed to be. And I think if you have a great support system, then you can kind of get through anything.
So the Monday Night Raw, that Carmella returns. I mean, we couldn't wait. We were so excited. And you obviously, the shows are much better when Carmella's on them. You talked about the trepidation of arriving to the arena. Even I'd imagine you were nervous. But what about walking through the curtain again?
I'm gonna back up a little bit, KP, just because I want to ask you about to his point, the trepidation of coming back. The entire landscape in WWE is drastically different than it was when you went away 8 months ago or in August of last year, from the talent to the who's running the show to just I mean, it's a different world. So what did that feel like, knowing you were coming back into the fire, but it was going to be very different?
Yeah, I had no idea what to expect. I knew how things were run and how things went when I was there before, but everything had changed. To your point, the locker room is different. The management is different. How am I going to fit in? How are they going to view me? How am I going to come back? Am I going to come back and, you know, be remembered and do what it is that I like to do? Or is it going to be completely different? So I'm so grateful that I'm able to return to the moonwalking, trash talking princess of Staten Island. For me, it's so near and dear to my heart. I created this character in NXT. It is me. It's part of me. It's me just turned way up, and I feel so confident and comfortable in this role. So to be able to be given the opportunity to go back to what brought me to the dance to begin with, I'm just so grateful and I'm so excited. I've never felt more comfortable. I don't have to think about anything. It's just me. I can just be and perform. And to your question earlier, Kevin, to come out through that curtain, I hit the damn moonwalk. I heard the FABULOUS, a little mixed up with my new song. So it's kind of like the best parts of the old Carmella, the best of the new Carmella, and mash it all up together. And I'm thriving. I'm so excited.
If you could summarize your WWE journey in one I am affirmation, what would it be and why?
I am proud. I'm
Beautiful.
so proud of myself. I'm going to cry again. Today's an emotional day.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of myself. I feel like I've been overlooked and underestimated from the beginning. I came from dance. I didn't have a history with wrestling. I wasn't on the independents. I was a small girl. How am I going to do this? How am I going to get my butt kicked and, be able to walk and not complain about being bruised and cut up and everything? And I think I spent 2 years in NXT, and I had already debuted on the main roster, and I did it in great form. I had amazing rivalry with Nikki Bella. I was on TV every week. I was the very last draft pick. No one expected me to do anything with my career. And I think, again, going back to our earlier conversation, it lit a flame under me, and it made me realize how much I want to prove to everybody that I am a mainstay in this division. I will always have a name in this company. No matter what, I'll always go down in history. And I'm so grateful for the journey I've had, and I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud.
Like what you hear? Catch full episodes of After the Bell wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us now and never miss an episode.